the guys who were running the school at the time were, or who were training at the time.
Did you go by yourself?
Yeah. I did it by myself because a lot of the other guys that I knew that were into wrestling, hardcore like me, were married, they had families, and in most cases with military men, the wives are the chiefs, and they dictate what the husbands do, you know, which we get in trouble. So
that's a shoot. So I know wrestling people were going to be pissed.
Had their balls in somebody's purse.
So I did it by myself. I said, this is something I want to do. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up there and I trained, and the guy who was the head trainer, or there was actually two of them. One was Sean Denny, and the other one, a guy named Jack Howard, who went as a gimmick inmate 6D6, which, you know, learning from them, I learned a lot of good stuff. Sean did a lot of the European style because he was British, and he did you know, basically what I'm trying to say is like it was a good school. It was a good stepping off point and
positive experience.
Very positive. The great group of guys up there. You know.
How many times a week did you train?
Training I think was 3 times a week. It was Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
How long before you actually took your first bump and
first night?
Your first night. What was
that
your
was the
experience?
tryout. The tryout was bump the hell out of me, run the ropes, check my cardio, take chops.
How'd that feel?
It hurt.
Chops on the first night?
Yeah, chops. The ritual at VCW was everybody would stand in line, and the new guy who said he wanted to be a student at the school would sit in the corner with his arms under the ropes,
mm-hmm.
and everybody that was in attendance of that class that day got two turns on the chops.
Nice.
So I think that night that was when they had a decent turnout there that night. So I got close to 40 chops that night. And
Fargo did something like that at his school when he was training.
And
at no point did you go, I don't want to do this sucks?
There was about number 38 where I seriously felt nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just one of those things I had made up in my mind. I said, you know, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to show any weakness. I want to, you know, I'm still in the young
mm-hmm. green
guy phase of being a professional wrestler, where, you know, no retreat, no surrender. I'm gonna do this, you know.
Right.
And from
before we all get disillusioned, right?
Right. Before that smoke screen clears and you get to where I'm at now. And so about a year I trained up there before I was discharged from the military. And from that point on, man, we had all kinds of awesome guys who come in and help train the classes. We had guys like Chris Escobar who come in, Preston Quinn, who's phenomenal, Damian Wayne, which I know if any of y'all follow FIP and some Ring of Honor, he's been on there. A couple guys who are on Ring of Honor now, Lance Lude and Jason Ferrari, who are the set. Mm-hmm. They come up there and they'd help out every now and then. And of course, the guy who's on WWE right now, Luke Gallows, he went by Dorian DeVille at that time.
Freaking Deacon was.
Yeah, he did Freaking Deacon. He did Festus. He'd come up there every now and then just to kind of put an eyeball on the students. And Brandon Day was another one. It just, I mean, there was a.
So it was a good experience.
You had your two head trainers, man. There was always people coming through, you know, adding their 2 cents and their spin, you know, on how, because one thing I learned, especially when I came to Mobile and joined the school I went to down there, was that everybody can. There's the way to do things, and there's how everyone else does it, and you just got to put your own fingerprint on it. And so anyway, I'm getting off topic, and well, I got discharged from the military. At the time, I knew I was getting discharged. I had about a couple months when I knew I was going to be back in Pensacola, and I was just.
So you got discharged and you moved back because your family's here.
Yeah, I moved back here because I'm initially from Pensacola.
Was it hard to leave the Virginia promotion? Because it sounded like you were having a good time up there.
I still have my my druthers. You know,
what if you'd stuck around?
Man, I tell you what, and I'm not just saying this because if you know what they're doing right now, man. But they've got a phenomenal thing going for them. They've got they've been working a lot with Shikara and Ring of Honor, bringing in guys like Chris Hero for seminars and Claudio Castagnoli, and it's just a steady wealth of like awesome independent wrestling veterans who are taking the time to take these young guys under their wings and show them the ropes. In retrospect, yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I would have stayed up there, but financially I couldn't have done it.
Sure, oh, really.
Because Virginia is very expensive to live.
With the military and all that stuff.
Yeah, they gouged the hell out of everything up there.
You didn't work any matches while you were there?
No, didn't have that opportunity.
How long did you train?
I trained for about a year with Vanguard before I contacted Percy Pringle down in Mobile about joining his school.
So you contacted Percy before you even moved back?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to be a smooth transition from my training. I figured if I took any time off, I wouldn't.
Explain that. How did that phone call go? Did you introduce yourself? Tell them what
it wasn't over a phone call. Basically what happened was I sent an email, and Percy is always good about returning emails. I would get one probably like a couple hours later at the latest. I sent him an email explaining it because he had posted on his on the Gulf South Wrestling website that he was opening a wrestling school soon. So I was jumping on it like
trying to get in there.
Yeah,
first.
I was just show him I was enthusiastic and I'm wanting to get in his school. And he kept sending me emails saying we're not quite ready. I would send him back. I would just keep in contact. Hey, this is Joe. You know, just checking in on things. I'm gonna be in town. Is there anything I can do to help out with the school? Or just kind of. That was the mindset that Vanguard put me in. Was the fact that if you were a young guy in the wrestling business, you be enthusiastic and you show that you want to help out, because they'll take that as the fact that this kid's got a lot of passion and he's got a lot of heart. So I kept emailing him, and I kept getting put off as far as when the school was going to start up. So finally, I moved down here, and I ended up going to one of his shows, because he'd already ran 2 or 3 shows at the time whenever I started really emailing him. And I'd send these goofy promo pictures and all this other crap of like gimmicks I thought
You did some cowboy gimmicks.
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen that picture. Is that what
you were like by a graveyard?
Yeah.
It looked good.
In my bathroom. And
you have a graveyard in your bathroom?
No. That wasn't the grave. No, that graveyard photo came later.
You did one where you were like walking down train tracks?
Yeah.
Those
were actually that was completely different. Like I had a buddy of mine who was doing photography, and he wanted to do some like Undertaker type photos and some like Wild West photos, and like some Bart and Billy Gunn crap.
Nice.
And so
they're pretty rad. Are they still on your MySpace page?
It might be. I don't know.
You got to find them and upload them.
I know Snowman's took a bunch of them.
Oh yeah, I could put them in the shoot.
Yeah.
Like we'll be looking at them right now.
Yeah, like right here, like I'm holding it. Right,
terrible cowboy Joe pictures.
I thought they were pretty good.
The outlaw Paul Molino.
Was that your gimmick?
That was my name I came up with.
Paul Molino?
Here's a funny story. Like,
wait a minute.
Paul Molino.
There's got to be a story about Paul Molino.
You were going to be brutal Paul Molino?
Which I didn't even like put 2 and 2 together. Which I didn't even put like 2 and 2 together that it sounded like Palomino. But basically what it was like myself, my buddy Randall, my other friend Kenny, and other guy that we used to hang out with named Travis. We did backyard wrestling. And
I never knew this. This is revealed.
Yeah,
in the Joe Gibson
I didn't talk, but we weren't like, we didn't have like.
You were one of those.
We didn't have like trampolines and rings, and we didn't have storylines. We just
pretended.
We just beat the shit out of each other in the backyard,
which is way safer.
Yeah, which is much safer. Just do it on the ground, man. Don't you risk the chance of getting tetanus or anything.